Today we're going to do the learn HTML forms by building a registration form. So the last time we were live, this is the form we are going to make. This is an H1 heading, maybe an H2 or H3, or a paragraph. These are spaces to fill them. Toggle button, which is something radio buttons, I guess. Upload file option, and put your age. And it's okay. Let's start coding. So first, welcome to document registration form project. Start by adding the document HTML declaration at the top of the document so that the browser knows what type of document it's reading. So we'll just put the last time like the day 3 of coding was a couple of days ago. Like the first 3 days of coding, day 1, day 2, and day 3, they were consistent, like one after the other. And then day 4 today, it took so many days, like 2 or 3 days in between. But that got me thinking, that got me thinking, like, why is it that we uh, struggle to maintain consistency? Because it's not like it's impossible or it's very difficult to do. Like I'm able to do it right now, as you can see. Let's below the doc type add an HTML tag. Let's do coding and let's speak alongside. We'll do an HTML tag with lang attribute of him. Um, I think I didn't close the HTML. Could be that. No. Mm, what am I missing? What am I doing wrong? Oh, rather than writing M, I wrote N. Yeah, I was not wrong. It's just a spelling mistake. But this is what gets to you. Like when you believe that you are not good enough. When you believe that you are not good enough, and you believe that maybe you have forgotten what you have learned, even though you didn't. But that's what not having enough practice or not having enough belief in yourself makes you believe feel. That is when you start doing mistakes. Um, yeah, what I was talking before is why did it take me 2 days of gap before doing this stream? Like after day 3 and today is day 4. Between day 3 and day 4, we have 2 days of gap. Why is it like? Why do we struggle so much to actually uh, be consistent with anything we do, even though the things that we are doing is not that tough? Like this one right now, I'm doing it's not really tough. I'm able to go through it very easily. Let me do some more coding and then I'll continue. Next, add opening and closing head. Okay, body tags in HTML. So we'll do head, uh, body, body. Uh, Rookie mistake. Hmm. I know the indentations are wrong, but the code will pass. I know that. But let me fix it. Let me fix it. Actually, the code will pass and the indentation will be fixed automatically in the next code. I know that. Okay, once again, there's an ad. So as long as this ad runs, let me tell you what I was already telling you is that why is it so difficult for us to stay consistent with anything we do? Why is it? So I was really thinking this on my own, and turns out that I think our mind. goes back to things which are low on effort and which we feel are entertaining. So, like, let's say watching some random videos which makes you feel that you are learning something even though you're not practicing, which is, I think, in the coding world, it is known as tutorial hell. So, if you go into that, you will continue to watch lessons after lessons, and it will make you feel that you're learning even though you're not. But that is easier. That is something that makes your brain feel comfortable, and that's where the problem is. Like, our mind, our being as a whole, tries to find comfort, and thankfully, our world, the way things are set in our world, the way we have the entertainment industry and everything set up, what happens is that you will, okay, let me close this banner because it seems like I'm asking for support even though I'm not. Uh, so what happens is that world around us is set up in certain way where it seems like it is always making it easier for us to um, get distracted. Like the amount of content we have, entertainment content we have online or anywhere, it kind of always tries to distract you from something that makes you feel that it's difficult. And that's, like, that they are kind of preying on the vulnerabilities of your mind. And okay, let me code a little bit more. So add a title tag. So we'll do a title tag and meta element inside the head element. Okay, title. Meta is a self-closing as far as I remember. Give your project title of registration forms, and add the cards attribute, uh, value of to a meta. Okay, UTF 8. Yeah. So what I was saying is that the society that we live in, it makes it easier for you to distract yourself, and doesn't matter how much potential you have. Once you start believing that no matter what you do, your situation and your surrounding and your life is not going to change, that element will feed off uh, your potential, let's say. Because even if you know that you can do certain things, the situations around you will let you know that you can do that later. That's basic description of procrastination. But if you ever look at people who procrastinate, including me, okay, so if you ever look at people who procrastinate, you would realize that people who procrastinate, they know that what they are doing is wrong. They know that they should not procrastinate. Never will you ever find a people who takes pride in being a procrastinator. They know that this is not something they should do. And the reason people procrastinate is because what they should be doing is not entertaining to them. And the reason it is not entertaining to them is because the thing that they are doing is something that they haven't done enough number of times to find it entertaining. Literally, you can do anything in the world, anything, and if you do it enough to see results coming from it, be it as small as possible, uh, that'll make you realize that maybe this is also entertaining. So that's basically it. This is something I was thinking because it took me 2 days of gap to just go back to this, uh, like live streaming again. This coding. This is day 4, but actually it is day 3, 4, 5, 6. It should have been, but now it is day 4. But it's fine. We lost 2 days in between, and these losses are significant. And this is also important. Like, this is also why you should always learn in public, and this thing has been discussed at length by a lot of YouTube creators and coders, that it is always better to learn in public, because when you learn in public, you are somehow accountable to yourself as well as to your audience if you have one. I don't have one, but if you have one audience, then you are somehow accountable to the fact that if you are going in the right direction without wasting your time or not. Because if you're doing it by yourself, there is a very good chance that you will go back to being what you have been. Like, let's say if I was not doing live streaming of my coding sessions, I wouldn't have been like able to register the fact that uh, I have gap, like I have did a two days or a 3 days gap in between. It wouldn't even register in my mind, because that is how our mind works. It would feel like, okay, we started something, we have dropped few days, and now we are back. Or I don't know if I would have even came back at it at all. But uh, good thing is I am back now, and that is what is important. You can't make up for the time you have lost, or sometimes you do can, but the important thing is, are you doing what you should be doing today, irrespective of what's your age, irrespective of how many years or how many days or how many uh, decades of your life you have wasted. If you're doing something correct today, that is what matters. Because you can't change your past, and neither you can change the things that will affect you as you go through life, like the outside external surroundings. The only thing that you can uh, fix uh, is your own approach towards life. So all you have to do, it's very simple. Honestly, it's very simple. And I know that you know this, and I know most people know this. I knew this, that it was very simple, because see, if you look at the credentials I have, if you are from India, you would know that getting into IIT is not a joke. And I have been alumni of IIT Kharagpur. So I have been that person who was very consistent. But the fact that I have moved away from that potential is because somehow, somewhere during the journey, I realized that like the surrounding of me made me realize that putting effort doesn't get you results. But that was not the entire truth. But that's how our brain works. Like, it it is trained on the data that it come across. So in real life, I saw that putting effort doesn't get you results. So my brain now tries to convince me that why should you put so much effort, because in the end you wouldn't get the results you're seeking for. But you will have to fight that urge, because if you continue to uh, if you continue to do what needs to be done, because that is all you can do, that is the only thing that's in your control. So why shouldn't you? Okay, moving ahead, we are on step 5. Next, that is something I was thinking while like yesterday, while I was thinking, like, why am I not continuing what I started with live streaming. And yeah, this is what I realized, that this was the problem I had. And now I'm feeling better because I'm live again and I'm coding. Doesn't matter how much, but the fact that I was able to come back and I'm coding right now makes me feel that there is a chance we can make change. That is, my brain is now giving positive feedback loop. This is also like a psychological term, feedback loops, where you actually do something good and you get a small good results in return of it, and this creates a positive loop, and you continue that loop a few number of times. Your brain is now trained to do certain things to get certain kind of results. So right now I'm feeling better, but just wanted to share what I was feeling a few days ago. Like, while I was analyzing it, why did I stop live streaming for the last 2 days? So we are back at it, and we'll do good coding from now onwards. So next, a self-closing link element within the head element. So we'll do link element. Okay, rel attribute, uh, value of style sheet, and an HIF with uh, with the styles dot css. With the body, provide a heading context for the content by adding h1. So we'll do a h1 tag and we'll write registration form. Below the heading, use the following text with the paragraph element to encourage users to register. Please fill out. So this is the paragraph element which we already have predicted while we were starting the tutorial, like just by looking at the form that we were going to build in the very beginning of the tutorial. So now we are on the css file. So unit stands for viewport height and is equal to 1% of the height of the viewport. This makes it relative to the viewport height. Okay, vh stands for viewport height as a unit and is equal to 1% of the height of the viewport. This makes it relative to the viewport height. It is time to spruce the project up with some css. Begin by giving the body a width. So we'll do body width 100%, height 100, viewport height. See, I haven't forgotten. Now get rid of the horizontal scroll bar by, so we have a horizontal scroll bar, the one on the bottom, this one here in the bottom here. So by setting the body default margin added by some browsers to 0. So we'll just add. Now we can see that the both the scroll bars are now gone. This is better. Now make the background easy on the eyes by changing the body background color to something like this. So we'll do. As suggested by the title, you are creating a form. So after the p element, insert a form, the action attribute targeting. By the way, from the people who are watching, any of you love psychology? Just a question. I was curious because, excuse me, I personally love psychology, and there are a couple of psychological YouTubers, like people who psychiatry or psychology, I don't know, but they do talk about human brain, and we have a lot of real good content from doctors these days on YouTube, which makes my YouTube a real treat to watch. Doesn't doesn't matter if it's free, but it really is uh, something I enjoy watching. The method attribute specifies how to send data, send form data to the URL specified in the action attribute. The form data. We'll just add one more attribute, method. Get request as URL parameters with method equal to get, or via a post request as data in the request body with method equal to post. Set the method attribute to send your form data via a post request. So we'll just put post here. I think after this we'll have to do one small project to finish the uh, first curriculum. Let me show you once. No, not this one. We are the responsible web design, the very first. We have done the cat photo app, we have done the cafe menu, the colored markers we have done, and now we are doing the registration form. From after that, this certification project, the first one is survey forms. So then we have this tribute page, technical documentation page, product landing page, personal portfolio web page, and we will be on our way to claim our certification. So we are back here. As the form will have three distinct sections, add three field set elements within the form element. So we'll set three field set. So we'll do field set IELDSET. The good thing is you can just copy paste. You just copy, paste, paste. The first field set will hold name, email, and password fields. Start by adding four label elements to the first field set element. We'll just put good formatting is just making it a very label. Add the following text with label elements. Enter your first name, enter your last name, enter your email, your new password. So REM unit stands for root M and is related to the font size of the HTML element. As label elements are inline by default, they are all displayed side by side on the same line, making their text hard to read. To make them appear on separate lines, add display block. display block to the label element and add a margin of, so we'll just add a margin of 0.5 rem, 0.5 rem 0, separate from each other. So we'll just go here, type this. Label. Next, an input element within each label. Okay, just give me a second. I'm checking my phone for something right now. Hmm. I was just looking at the stream from my phone a little because I wanted to ensure that everything is going smooth and you guys are being able to watch things properly. Moving ahead, next an input element within each label. Be sure to add each input after the label text and include a space after the colon. Okay. Hmm. Input element colon. We don't use colons on in HTML. You don't use colons in HTML. Hmm. Feels like I'm gonna do some mistake today. Okay, oh, fuck. There's a colon on the front. Damn it. Yeah, now it's correct. Following accessibility best practices, link the input elements and the label elements together using the for attribute. I'm slightly struggling to understand this one, but I'll try my best. The first input element should have an ID of first name. First label element should have a for attribute with a value of first name. Okay, somehow I have crossed this challenge even though I was struggling to understand myself what's going on. Okay, just to check, we are 27% done. So there's still a long time to go. Moving ahead, we have specifying the type attribute of a form element is important for the browser to know what kind of data it should expect. Okay, if the type is not specified, the browser will default to text. Okay, give the first two input elements a type attribute of text. So, hmm, third one would be email, and the fourth one would be password. Okay, the email type allows only at and dot in the domain. Password type obscures the input and wants if the site does not uses HTTP. Let's see for code passes. It does. Moving ahead. The first input element with the type of submit is automatically set to submit its nearest parent form element. Hmm. So here at the last, we'll have to put an input with type set to submit, and the value attribute set to submit. Now code does pass. I'm feeling slightly sleepy, by the way, guys. We are very close. 30% done. We are still left with 70%. So if I fall asleep, keeping this live on, not my mistake, guys. I'm very sleepy right now. At this point, you should be able to submit the form. However, you might not notice not much happens. So if I click the submit button, so it says normally this form would be submitted. It works. This will submit it to register demo freecodecamp.org. Extremely feeling sleepy for some reason. To make the form more interactive, add the required attribute to the input fields in the first field set. So we'll just put required copy. And if you do remember, or if you have been following my live streams, you do remember that required attribute doesn't have any value. It just can be declared by saying required. Let's see if our code passes, and it does. Great. So moving on, we are to next challenge. Sorry guys, I missed out on some of the comments. So Gia says hi. Hi Gia. Certain type attribute values come with built-in form validators. For example, type is equal to email requires that the value must be a valid email. So add custom validation to the password input element by adding a min length attribute. So here we'll add a min length, yeah, min length attribute with a value of 8. Doing so prevents inputs of less than 8 characters being submitted. Now code does pass, so we are good to go. So I do one mistake every day is that I forget to bring up the uh, chat preview on the right of my live, but today I have it, and I still missed one comment by Gia. But no worries. If you comment from now onward, I'll be able to see you. Anybody who does. With type equal to password, you can use the pattern attribute to define a valid regular expression that the password must match to be considered valid. Add a pattern attribute to the password input element to require the input match of this. The above is a regular expression which matches 8 or more lowercase characters or the digits 0 to 5. Then remove the min length attribute and try it out. So we'll just remove the min length already, and we'll type pattern equals double quote, and I'll just copy this thing. Should be good. It does. Once again, we have this uh, remove distractions ad. I'll wait it out to play. Until then, let's go share with you how much we have done. Should be 33% or something. 35%. So we are left with 65%. Let us go to the next part of the registration form. This section will ask for the type of account the user is opening. Start by adding two label elements to the second field set. So we just go here, wait, type in label. Oh, spelling mistake. I'm feeling very sleepy, guys, even right now. Give me a few seconds, guys. By the way, guys, any of you have tried iOS 18 recently? Whatever. But I'm very sleepy, guys. How the fuck am I surviving? I don't know. We are at 36%. Let's totally have 65. Not a lot. We're at 24. Okay. I'm very sleepy. Hello, Jia. Hi. Can I put it somewhere? I don't know. Hmm. Moving ahead, are you able to see? I think this comment is going to create a problem, so I'm going to hide the comment of Jia and move on. Users will be allowed to choose either a personal or a business. To do this, within each of the first two label elements, add one input element with type radio. So within each label, we'll add one input, and the type would be radio, right? So radio. Yes, our code does pass, and we are moving on to the next lesson. Just a second, let me look at my stream real quick. Ensure things are moving smooth. I'm putting up uh, poll right now in the. Let me check. Yeah, I'm putting a poll. That's your. Just curious to know, guys. What's your favorite book of all time? Within each corresponding label element, immediately after the input element, add a space and add the following text: personal and business. So we have personal. Here we'll add business. Here you want one radio input to be selectable at a time. Yes. However, the form does not allow the radio inputs are related. So to relate the radio inputs, give them same name attribute with the value of account type. Extremely sleepy, guys. Currently, users can submit the form without checking the radio inputs. Okay. Although you previously used the required attribute to indicate that an input is required, it won't work in this case because adding required to both inputs will convey the wrong information to users. To solve this, so you can provide context of what is needed by adding a legend element with text account type required before the label elements with the second field set. Then add the checked attribute to the personal input to ensure the form is submitted with the required data field in it. Okay. So we can't add the required field here because people will have to then click both, which is very difficult. They will select one of the other. So to solve this, we'll legend element before the label element. So here we'll add a legend, the text of account type and set it to required. Okay, let's not waste time. We are already like 43% in, done with almost half. So we'll finish the half and then we'll take a break and come back. है ना? Follow accessibility best practices by linking the input elements and label elements in the second field set. You need to confirm that the user has read the terms and conditions, and a label element inside the newly created label element. Add a input element and set the type attribute to checkbox. Make this input element required. Users cannot sign up without agreeing to the terms and conditions. Add an ID and for attribute with the value terms and conditions. And our stream have crossed 1 hour mark, which I don't know if it's good or bad, but if it is what it is. Add the text I accept the terms and conditions immediately after the input. Just copy because there is a very good chance I'll make some silly spelling error here. Someone's calling me, guys. Wait. Ah, spam call. Hmm. 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 Moving on to the final field set. What if you wanted to allow a user to upload a profile picture? Will the input type file allows just that? Add a label. If you just add a label with the text upload a profile picture. I'm getting a little uh, used to this doing. give it a try. So if I go and put, hmm, okay, I can see the errors. I missed out on the spelling of label all the time. If you're on YouTube, so let me put this on. I'm getting so much spam comments, right? Like this one is a spam comment. How do you get rid of this, man? Most of the spam is coming on Twitch, by the way. I'm streaming on both YouTube and Twitch, and Twitch has a lot of bots, it seems. Whatever, going ahead, I'm gonna drop down to the form. So we'll with the select element. The select element is container of a group of options elements, and the optional element acts as a label for each drop-down option. Both elements require closing tags. Start by adding a select element below the two. Anybody have any questions? Do feel free to comment below. If you're not able to see my face, that's because it's like 5:25 p.m. here and the light is going down. I'll have to switch on my room light, but there's nothing much on my face. It's the screen that I'm trying to show you. Going ahead, we are next the select elements with its option elements uh, within a label element with the text. How did you hear about us? So, so we'll put a label here. Yes, our code has passed. Just for you guys to check how far we are here. It was 49% back then. Now we should be somewhere 53%. 35 are done, and we have to do till 65. So the drop down options are currently empty. To give them options, add the following text to each subsequent option element. So one we'll do select one. Submitting the form with an option selected would not send a useful value to the server. As such, each option needs to be given a value attribute, without which the text content on the option will be submitted to the server. Give the first option a value of double quote. So we'll put value equals this, and then the next four would be 1 to 4. You just copy this, go down, copy paste here. न जाने कब से उम्मीद कुछ बाकी है, मुझे फिर भी तेरी याद क्यों आती है, न जाने कब से। Text area element acts like an input element of type text, but comes with added benefits of being able to receive multi-line text and an initial number of text rows and columns. Users will be able to register with a bio, add a label with the text, provide a bio at the end of the field set. Okay, I would do a small experiment. I want to share the entire screen of my computer because I haven't done it yet. And since we are pretty small in terms of channel, I want to see because I haven't done it yet. I want to see if it does work. Please bear with me. So apparently we are live and I'm able to see my screen as of now. But let's see if the thing does continue. Yes, yeah, we are able to work here. This is pretty nice. This is pretty good. This is pretty good because now I can really work on anything and you would be able to see what I'm working on, how I'm working on. That's great. That's great. There is some bug which I'm able to find here, but unfortunately, I won't be able to convey it to the stream team, I guess. The bug is even though the stream is showing my window after I switch from entire screen, I'm not able to see the preview of it on my browser. But yeah, whatever. But I'm happy that I can just go live from my computer screen and show anything I want. Because now I can then work entirely all the time while live streaming on YouTube. Moving ahead, we'll go link the applicable form elements and their label elements together. So I think some problem I missed out on something. Oh, okay, okay. This is cons. Now it's good. To give campers an idea of what to put in their bio, the placeholder attribute is used. Placeholder accepts a text value which is displayed until the user starts typing. So give the text area a placeholder of I like coding on the beach. Actually, I would say the same for real. I do like coding on the beach. I like beach in general. So yeah, not too far away from what I personally prefer. With with form submissions, it is useful and good practice to provide each submittable element with a name attribute. This attribute is used to identify the element of the form name, form accept, its submissions, except the two ready inputs which you have already named. Give each submittable input a unique name attribute of your choosing. It's my wish. Oh, I use defaults. So this element right here, as it says personally, the toggle button is not on the same line, right? So let me finish this. Almost done. 84% done. So it's very few lessons left. We are almost done. We are now just a second. We are now at 96% done. This is the last assignment of the project. So what we have to do is change the text color to terms and conditions. Link element. I think I'm doing wrong, but let's see. Yeah, I'm doing wrong. Mm, I know this is wrong, but I'm still gonna pass it so that I know what is the wrong. Okay, that's the way. So we have completed the very last. That's why we are seeing this ad. Now look at this. We have done all three, all four actually. And now the first certification project is ahead of us. So if we click here, this is the first project we have to do. So the instruction is build a survey form. Object Objective is to build a app that is functionally similar to this. It's like this. Okay. Oh, you are not able to see it. Huh? This. So there's one background image, there's a form, an element, title of something, it's a green color, submit button, mix of HTML, font, and CSS. So we'll do this later because right now I'm ending this stream. Make sure you subscribe because I'm gonna re-enter this stream in some time from now. So until then, goodbye. Have a great day. Bye.